Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. So I have a simple question. What is the most important part of a Thanksgiving feast? Now, if you said turkey, you can kindly just get the hell out. I mean, let's be honest, man. Like, turkey is pretty good. Like, I don't mind it. I kind of get sick after the damn, 17 weeks of leftovers. But in my opinion, the most important part of the side dishes, man. Like, that's where you get, like, the uniqueness. That's where you get the differentiality. And I think that same mindset can really be applied to an NBA team. Like, you know what you're going to get out of your superstars, but it's the side pieces, man. It's the glue guys that win championships. It's the guys that step up. So for today's video, man, what I did is I gave every NBA team one side dish players. These are guys, from the history of each NBA squad that were never quite like the number one options, but they were definitely very important part of their team franchises. So for today's video, man, we're going to do that. We're going to go through all the rosters of the simulation, all that good stuff. If you guys don't mind leaving a like and, of course, subscribing to the channel would be greatly appreciated. So, yes, in some of these cases, some of the side dish players are going to be better than other teams. I was at the mercy of not only what the team kind of needed, but also which players were available in NBA 2K22. So don't get mad. Don't be like, yo, Crispy, you gave this team this and this team that. Like, man, I'm going to say, like, sometimes the Thanksgiving dinner, based off who you go to, some are better than others, man. So, yeah, that's going to apply to this video also. So, let's start off here with the Philadelphia 76ers. Also, I did take Ben Simmons off the team. I just feel like Philly don't really want to see Ben Simmons. So, yeah, I wanted to get, like, a better indication in this case. But I went with Hershey Hawkins, man, at the shooting guard spot. Absolute sniper and everything like that. So, yeah, that shooting guard spot is going to fit in absolutely perfect with this team playing with Tobias and Joel Embiid. For the Milwaukee Bucks, I went with the lefty Michael Redd. He is one of my favorite shooting guards of all time. I think he's one of the most underrated shooting guards of all time. Had a lot of injury issues and stuff like that, but this man had one of the prettiest strokes in NBA history. So, yeah, him spacing things out even more for Giannis is going to just really help this team. For the Chicago Bulls, I went with Tony just because, like, well, I guess in this case, we don't have injuries or anything like that, but, Williams or whatever is injured. But we got Tony at the power forward spot, 6'10" player, so just going to add that much needed. He's not really a role player, he's not a role player, but just, man, somebody of consistency to the team. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, I figured mostly they probably needed the small forward position, so I went with Larry Nance, 88 overall. I don't really got too much to say, like, he's Larry Nance. We all know who he is, man. Athletic player, play some defense and stuff like that, so he should be a nice addition to the squad. For the Boston Celtics, I went with Headband Rajon Rondo, age 28, 91 overall. Yes, in this case, he is listed as the best overall player, but the Celtics, like, historical team, like, he was one of the lowest guys on the team. So, I figured this team could use a point guard just like Rondo, make plays for others and everything like that, man. Rebound the basketball, play great defense. So, yeah, he's going to be joining Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. For the Los Angeles Clippers, I went with Chris Kaman at the center position. No real reason behind it. There wasn't a ton of options, as far as, like, lower tier players go for this team. I guess maybe a point guard or a shooting guard, but in all due respect, like, I feel like Reggie Jackson, his overall was actually getting pretty disrespected in this case. So I think he should be like a closer, like an 80 overall or something like that. So it's fine. We with Chris Kaman though, man. 7-foot center. Don't mind doing the dirty work. Should fit in nicely with the Clippers. For the Memphis Grizzlies, I went with Tony Allen at the shooting guard position. I know they got Desmond Bane on the team, but Tony Allen, one of the greatest defensive players in NBA history. Him with John Morant, like, that's just going to provide a certain type of culture and feel to the squad. For the Atlanta Hawks, I went with Steve Smith. Once again, just absolute, sniper 3-and-D type of player for the Atlanta Hawks. Put him next to Trae Young, and yeah, that's one of the best shooting backcourts in the NBA, at least historically speaking. For the Miami Heat, I went with Chris Bosh at the power forward position. I think technically, I don't remember, his contract would probably be up by now, because when he signed that contract and had to retire, I think it was like a 6-year deal or something like that. But I figured this team probably lacked the power forward position the most. And Chris Bosh, he's the definition of a side dish. I mean, he was the third option on that big three team and everything. Like, still extremely important, which kind of leads to the idea of the video, and just how important having a guy like that on the team can be. So him with Bam, Jimmy Butler, yeah, they're going to be a team to watch in the simulation. For the Charlotte Hornets, I went with Alonzo Mourning. I figured they needed a center the most, just because, like, Plumlee has been, like, kind of basic this season. They got PJ Washington at the center position. So, yeah, Alonzo Mourning, with the guards and the forwards of this team should be great. For the Utah Jazz, I went with AK-47, Andre Kirilenko. I feel like Andre would be an all-star player in this era of basketball. I feel like he was a little bit before his time, but yeah, just a switchblade type of power forward. Man, can play the small forward position and literally could do everything on the basketball court. For the Sacramento Kings, I went with Peja Stojakovic at the small forward position, a guy that can shoot the lights out and just kind of space things out for the rest of like the guards on this team. For the New York Knicks, I went with Allen Houston. The team did a good job in the offseason of providing, Julius Randle and the rest of the team with just more offensive options, but look no further than Al Houston, trying to win a championship here with the New York Knicks. For the Los Angeles Lakers, I went with Michael Cooper, who is essentially 3-and-D type of player. Now, that type of guy works out so nicely next to somebody like LeBron James, and I feel like that's kind of what their team is lacking at times, is just like those, hey, like, do the dirty work, do exactly what we need you to do out there, man, help us win a championship type of guys, right? For the Orlando Magic, I went with Rashard Lewis. No real reason, I just like Rashard Lewis, so he's on the Magic. There we go, man. That's all. That's really the only reasoning I have here. For the Dallas Mavericks, I'm with one of my favorite players of all time, Michael Finley. I loved Finley on the Dallas Mavericks, man. Like, I don't know, like he used to be like one of like my go-to guys in 2K. I just love Michael Finley, and to me, just a good definition of like a role player type of guard and everything. As a small forward in this case, but him with Luka, it's gonna be nasty. For the Brooklyn Nets, I went with the least or with the worst possible center I could take from the all-time team, and that was Brook Lopez, who just also happens to be their all-time leading scorer. But 87 overall. Yeah, I was just like, okay, like this team needs a big body. I know you got like LaMarcus Aldridge and Claxton and Griffin, but like Brook Lopez, true inside type of center. For the Denver Nuggets, I went with Antonio McDyess at the power forward spot. You got Aaron Gordon on the team, but McDyess definitely a hustle type of player, can knock down the mid-range shot, going to grab you some rebounds, play some defense. I think he would actually fit in pretty nicely since Jokic is the type of center that can stretch things out. For the Indiana Pacers, I went with Danny Granger. I feel like this is what this team like at times, is just like that true number one scoring option. Now, like I said, it's another case where he is the best player on the team, but, kind of work with what you got out there, man. I thought Danny Granger would fit in nicely. For the Pelicans, I was nice to the Pelicans. I gave him B. Diddy. I should probably have not been nice to the Pelicans because they seem to always win the championship in these videos. But, yeah, this team desperately needs a point guard like B. Diddy. Just give you that swagger out there and everything, man. Ain't afraid to throw up the oop to Zion Williamson. Although Zion's got to get his weight under control for that to actually happen. For the Detroit Pistons, I went with Richard Rip Hamilton at the shooting guard spot. Now, there wasn't really like all-time players that were lower than like Jeremy Grant and stuff like that. So I had to go with somebody. I went with the 89 overall Rip Hamilton. Put K at the point guard spot. So yeah, man, I love Rip Hamilton, the masked bandit. For the Toronto Raptors, I went with a center in Andrea Bargnani. That's definitely what they need the most. And Bargnani, I mean, for being a number one overall pick, he probably didn't live up to that standard, but I do think Bargnani was actually a pretty solid center in the NBA, especially on the Raptors, man. Like, he was able to just be like a decent stretch big. Obviously not worth the number one pick, but still wasn't bad. For the Houston Rockets, I went with Tracy McGrady. So obviously they're trying out some things here with this Jalen Green, Kevin Porter backcourt, which hasn't worked out from a playmaking standpoint or a turnover standpoint. Tracy McGrady, one of the best point forwards to ever play the game. So, yeah, he's definitely going to be operating this offense. For the San Antonio Spurs, I went with a rookie Tim Duncan. It's not prime Tim Duncan. I went with rookie Tim Duncan just to give this team a foundation to start building around again. And then for the Phoenix Suns, I went with one of my favorite players of all time, is the Matrix, Shawn Marion, put up the power forward spot. Yet again, just a jack of all trades, literally can do everything on the basketball court for you, which is going to be great for the Phoenix Suns. For the OKC Thunder, with the Rain Man, Shawn Kemp. They need some big guys on the team, and 90 overall Shawn Kemp I thought was well warranted to give them. So yeah, you have 90 overall, 86, 79. They could be a sleeper team, man, in the Western Conference. For the Timberwolves, I gave you guys a 91 overall Kevin Love, back from his prime days of being able to rebound. Really, he was the best rebounder at the time and everything, can stretch things out. So yeah, I thought he would be nice with the rest of the squad. For the Portland Trail Blazers, I went with a prime LaMarcus Aldridge, who I don't know, man, like when I think of the Portland Trail Blazers, I personally think of LaMarcus Aldridge, at least as far as like old school basketball goes. Like Brandon Roy, guys like that too, man. So I just thought it would be a nice fit. For the Golden State Warriors, I went with a 84 overall Andre Iguodala. Obviously, he's not the same player he once was anymore, but in this case, he was such a huge important piece, to the championship teams of the Golden State Warriors. And then for the Washington Wizards, I went with the small forward, that being Caron Butler. who was just a really solid 3-level scorer in the NBA for many seasons, man. So that's what the teams are going to be looking like here. As far as like, what I like about this is that the ratings were kind of different, so we should hopefully have some different type of results as far as the simulation goes. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and simulate the NBA season. We're going to see how these new teams and their players can do. Okay, so we're at the end of the regular season. It looks like Hershey Kisses up in here, bro. Worked out nicely for the 76ers, second in the conference. One more game against the Detroit Pistons. 34-47. Hey! That's like as many wins as we've had in like 5 seasons combined, man. Simulate regular season. There we go. So we got MVP, still Giannis Antetokounmpo, which it should be because we did not put any players in the NBA that would take over a guy like Giannis, right? Okay, Rookie of the Year, baby. All you need was Rip Hamilton, man. Drummond is 6-man. Giannis defensive player. John Morant most improved. Okay. So we got All NBA first. All NBA second with Larry Nance making that. I almost call him Larry Pants. Larry Nance making that, so good for him. Then All NBA third with Tracy McGrady and Kevin Love. So there we go. We got all defensive teams. Definitely Tony Allen got to be making that. And AK-47. All defensive second with B. Diddy. I forgot that B. Diddy was a defensive player like that. I knew he was solid, but yeah, man, all defensive teams. So let's go to the standings first. Just kind of like check things out from a better viewpoint. So NBA standing wise, Bucks, 76ers, Nets, Heat, Knicks, Celtics. And then we got the Bulls of the play-in tournament, man. So kind of some disrespect towards the Bulls and really the Hawks. Cleveland Cavaliers and Washington Wizards. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Then we got the Raptors, Hornets, Pistons, Pacers, and Magic not making the playoffs. So I would say overall, it didn't really change too much in the standings. Like, that's still pretty good standings. And then for the Western Conference, bitch-ass birds, man. Pelicans, man. You know what? I am switching Thanksgiving. We are no longer eating turkey. We are eating Pelicans, man, okay? The Pelican Thanksgiving dinner, I guess. I don't really know. Lakers, Jazz, Suns, Warriors, Portland Trailblazers, so they definitely got better with LaMarcus Aldridge. And then you got Mavs, Grizzlies, T-Wolves, and Clippers is in the play-in tournament. OKC, Spurs, and Nuggets got really heavily disrespect here, especially because we don't have injuries on. So, wow, man, some real hate for McDice and the Denver Nuggets. And apparently, 27 wins. I mean, that's actually not bad, all things considered, looking at the Rockets' real-life record. So, I guess, yeah, Tracy McGrady. But let's also go to the player stats. We're going to go through these really quickly if you guys want to pause on your favorite team, just because we already went through all the rosters and everything. So, yeah, we got Hershey Hawkins. We got Michael Redd at 22 points per game. Tony at 13. I also did, like, the tendencies, too, so they were all, like, shooting correctly and stuff. Nance was a beast at 22 and 11, though. Rondo, with the double-double out there with the 11 assists. Chris came in 13 and 10. Tony Allen, scoring a little bit, but you all know he's there for the defense. Good scoring for Steve Smith. Chris Bosh at 19, 9 with 3 assists. 20 and 11 for Alonzo Mourning. AK-47 at 18 points. Paige O'Lean scored at 22, 5 and 4. Allen Houston had 25 points per game. Damn, he was nice, bro. Michael Cooper, loved the 7 assists, actually. Some good ball movement with that team. Rashard Lewis had 21 a game. Michael Finley, 25 points, man. He'd be dropping buckets like that if you play today anyway, man. Not at his current age, but, if he was in his prime. Brook Lopez at 15 and 10 with about 2 blocks a game. McDice at 18 and 10. Danny Granger at 22. B. Diddy at 19 and 10. Yeah, man, I was pretty nice for the Pelicans, knowing how good they are in the simulation. Rip Hamilton at 27, 4 and 7. Love seeing it, man. We got Bargnani at 17 and 8. Tracy McGrady, 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists. Man, I love Tracy McGrady. He's probably top 5 favorite player of all time. 24 and 11 for a rookie, Tim Duncan, although I guess he's not a rookie anymore. Well, they're not in the playoffs, so technically, yeah, he's no longer a rookie. We got the Matrix at 19 and 11, 25 and 10 for the Rain Man. And where's Kevin Love at 23 and 14? Yes, sir, man. He used to be like that too on the T-Wolves. You all remember. Maybe you're not if you're like younger, but yeah. LaMarcus at 20 and 10 for him. Iguodala doing his Iguodala thing. And we got Caron Butler at 19, 3 and 4. So let's see who can win this championship, man. It's going to be the damn Pelicans. I know it is. Simulate play-in. So Clippers are gone. That was with having Kawhi healthy, by the way. Wizards are gone with Caron Butler. Grizzlies are gone. And the Bulls are gone. So much disrespect, man, from 2K. As far as that goes. So simulate round. So we got the Cavaliers with Larry Nance are gone. Celtics with Rondo gone. Knicks with Al Houston. Portland with LaMarcus. Phoenix Suns with the Matrix. Hawks, Mavericks, T-Wolves are gone, man. So there we go. There's the second round of the playoffs. Once again, the Pelicans just surprising everybody like they always do in this game. The Lakers are gone in a sweep. Bucks are gone with Michael Redd. Philly gone. And the Golden State Warriors are gone, man. We got the Jazz, Pelicans, Nets, and Heat. Okay, simulate round. Brooklyn gone. Jazz gone. We got Chris Bosh versus B. Diddy, bro. I don't mind the Heat. I'm rooting for the Heat, man, just for realism. So, simulate rounds. And there we have it, man. Chris Bosh, CBZ out there. One of the greatest side dishes of all time as that third option from the Heat team. I'm happy he won it because he was a good representation of everything. Jimmy Butler, a much well-deserved Finals MVP. But, yeah, this closeout game, nothing too crazy from Chris Bosh. But see how we did overall in the playoffs here, man. So, it's probably not going to show us. No, it does show his playoff stats. 19 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block while shooting 51% from 3. What more could you ask for that, man? I guess you could ask for some more points, but it's fine. No, man, that's all we got for this video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace out, my friends.